After years of investigations, 2 high-profile trials, and endless public debate, the case finally reached its conclusion. But even after the verdict, the questions surrounding John O'Keefe's death refused to go away. For many, the courtroom ended the legal battle, but not the mystery. Tonight, we conclude the stories of John O'Keefe and Karen Reed. I'm Mike.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Dave. If you think multiple unexplained coincidences eventually add up to reasonable doubt, stick around. You may, and I'm stressing the word may, have to follow the advice of a wise man who once said, if it doesn't fit, you must acquit. This is Necronomipod.
Attorneys for the family of Boston police officer John O'Keefe filed a motion to compel testimony from Karen Reed about her medical condition and prescriptions leading up to the night of O'Keefe's death. They are specifically requesting information about Reed's primary care physician for a 2-year period before January 29, 2022, and any medication Reed took or had access to on January 28 and January 29, 2022. Reed's attorney objected to all requests, stating the information sought is irrelevant.
I'm not sure we've ever covered a case that has garnered so many outside opinions from people. And I mean that from my experience personally, is that people who see me or know me want to talk about this case.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. More than any case we've ever covered.
It's not even done yet.
That's what I tell people. Settle your tea kettle. We'll get there.
This is the first time I've ever sat down and been like, all right, I'm going to collect all my thoughts and like kind of come up with a theory.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done that before. Usually it's on the fly, just the conversation stuff. But
Sure.
People have been so active and commenting on our Patreon. No one's as active, or this is the most active anybody's been on Patreon, like debating with each other and stuff. So I wanted to like kind of try and get everything in a row on this one.
Okay. It's been good so far.
Yeah.
I think the tough thing about this one is if we went into every single aspect of the trial and testimony and all, it would be a 15 to 20 part series.
You have to write a book on this.
Yeah, and nobody wants to listen to that from us. That's a whole...
I don't want to listen to that from us.
So it's hard to cover everything to kind of form the basis for your opinion. It's not the format where you can cover every single piece of evidence and testimony and this and that. Makes it hard sometimes.
That's true. And so like when I was going through to like kind of form my opinion today, like most things I do, it turned into like a whole thing, right? I was like going further down than I needed to go. Mm-hmm. And I ended up finding a detail about, I'll talk about it at the end, but a detail about a person. And I'm like, oh shit, well that kind of changes my fucking opinion. And there's nothing else to write because it's already done. So
Right. It's done.
Yeah. Crazy though. We've never had people debate this way over an episode.
Is there infighting on the old Patreon?
I saw a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of...
I'm going to put together a War
snipping.
Games match. I'm going to pick the opponents, and it's going to be 5-on-5 settled in a War Game style match. Do you know War Games, Dave? Do you remember that from the old NWA days?
Oh, I thought you meant the 1983 Matthew Broderick, Ali Sheedy movie.
No, of course not. I didn't mean that.
Like, of course I remember that. You saw it in the movie theater, pal, before you were born.
War Games. 2 rings. A huge cell covers both of them. Person from each team starts. The other 4 are locked in shark tanks at the entrance. By a coin flip before the match, every 5 minutes, one person gets released. They go back and forth. But whoever wins the coin flip gets their person first. So you'll always get a man advantage.
Okay.
And then the match doesn't start. You fight, but the match doesn't officially start till all participants have been released from the cage. And then it's War Games. And you fight until one team can't continue.
That seems very confusing. Can the average wrestling fan follow the rules and understand what's happening during that match?
It's an old Southern NWA thing, and Triple H loved it and brought it in.
Interesting.
So I'm going to pick 10 10 people pro Karen Reed, 10 people. What do the pro Karen Reeds call themselves?
FKRs.
No, that's right. Fuck Karen Reed. That's what the pro people call themselves. I don't get it. So I'm going to pick 5 FKRs and 5 anti Karen Reeds, and they're going to have a War Games match. Dave, you want to be the special referee?
Yes, I do.
All right. This is going to be great.
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, that's as great as it's going to get for me. I just set up a War Games match. You guys can just take it from here.
Harry, are you ready? Anti-Karen Readers.
You're not the announcer. You're the referee.
Well, whatever.
Okay. Just want to make sure. You will not be mic'd up, just so we're clear.
I don't want to do it then. What fun is that? It's a Massachusetts war game. I thought I could use the voice. But
We could. That's true. We'll have it in downtown Boston. Well, do we just jump in from here?
Yeah, I guess so. Where we left off on part 2, we left off on Jennifer McCabe in her Google search, quote, HOS, HOS, long to dying cold. And then, now we have to get into the fight about what all that is, right? Is that a coincidence or what?
The original opening I wrote was something like, if you thought hose long to dying cold is an ancient Russian Siberian adage about aging prostitutes, it never really went anywhere. So I switched course.
You had the setup, not the punchline?
Yeah, I hit the setup and not the punchline. This hose long to die in the cold in Siberia. I'll peek behind the curtain of how my imbecile mind works sometimes.
People love that.
So the defense says that happened at 2:27 in the morning, which would be hours before anybody was even supposed to be, which was hours before anyone was supposed to have even found John, which would mean somebody was in the house Googling how long it takes to die in the cold while John was still laying out on the lawn hours before the search party, meaning Karen and the group of women even had left to go look for John. But the state's expert, Ian Whiffen, we talked about that guy in part 2.
I told you I don't like that name. It wasn't my name in T-ball.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the Whiffen thing.
Fuck you. I hit the ball fine.
Kid sucks at T-ball.
So he said no, that it's how police software reads a phone. We talked about how Whiffen worked for a company called Celebrate, which makes the software that police departments all over the world use to extract data from phones. And when that software pulled McCabe's search history, it showed the hose long search sitting next to a 227 timestamp. But according to Whiffen, that timestamp doesn't mean what it appears to mean. In the phone's browser, a tab keeps updating which search you most recently ran, but the timestamp attached to it stays frozen at the moment the tab was first opened. And McCabe's story fits right into that gap. She says that she was awake at 2:27 looking up something about a basketball team, and then she left that tab open. Then at 6:24, standing out in the snow with Karen being super frantic, begging her to Google it, she wrote, misspelled house as HOS, typed that into the same old tab. So the search text updated and the 227 stamp stayed. Whiffen gave a live demo to the jury on a real iPhone showing exactly what was happening.
That settles it. Karen Reed did it.
It's good that they made him at least do a demo of it, because if I was a juror trying to listen to that, I'd be like, nope.
You wouldn't believe him, even as like an expert?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know, dude. My attention span's just not great the older I get. And
his name's Whiffen. You're
Yeah,
like, this guy? Really?
Yeah.
Swinging a whiff on that one too, bud.
it just, this case, man, it just gets so in the weeds with some of the times and all this shit where you just get super confused.
I was going to throw that in there as well. What if maybe someone's just reading UTC time? Could also account for that. There's still no consensus on this. The defense says one, their experts say one thing, and the state's experts said no one agreed.
Right.
They just had to agree to disagree, essentially.
And there's this weird detail too that I like doing chronological, but we can't do chronological with it. But like after the first trial, Celebrate changed the software so it would stop displaying that type of timestamp altogether. Whiffen said that the timestamps just kept getting misread over the whole software in general. And in this case, kind of just put a big old, spotlight on it.
Yeah.
Right. The defense said no, they yanked that because they got caught in some bullshit. Like you said, Dave, to this day, it's debated on.
Yeah.
It's essentially the same thing as like a psychiatric evaluation, right? The defense says one thing and the prosecution says the other, so it's kind of cancels out.
Good luck, jury. Figure it out.
Yeah.
There's no definitive answer as to when she made that search. I have my thoughts.
What a tease.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing everybody's thoughts on this because I really don't like on that search stuff. I don't have a good theory on that or idea of it at all. Regarding the stuff that Karen was saying out on the lawn that morning, one of the paramedics who responded, a guy named Jason Becker, testified that Karen told him she and John argued that night, and she was upset because that was the last thing that she'd said to him. And separately, Becker testified Karen said, quote, "I hit him," and said it 3 times, except on the stand. He told investigators, like when they went through everything, he had only heard her say it twice. Then a second paramedic said she actually heard it 4 times. And then a Canton police officer testified that Karen told him, quote, "This is all my fault. I did this." And then asked him if John was dead.
I just think that's a sentiment that would be shared by a lot of people in this situation. Like, you let your partner out of the car at this place and, she's saying he went in the house and come back and she went home and they found him dead in the morning. Like, you're going to be distraught. You're going to feel bad. You might say, I did this. I let him out in the cold. I think there's a lot being applied to these things that she said in hysterics when she found her partner dead on the ground in the morning, half drunk still. And I don't find them to be admissions of guilt.
But nobody can even agree on how many times things were said or what even was specifically said a lot of times too. So it's like,
didn't they show in the documentary too, when cross-examined, these witnesses weren't even sure they actually heard what they heard?
All kinds of
like they were kind
testimony.
of folding under the cross-examination.
Like the written interviews that said one thing, grand jury testimony said something, then the defense attorneys got them to change their story and they wouldn't, say it under oath on the stand, and
the narratives changed quite a bit.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It just goes to the weak case, I think, here for charging someone with murder.
Yeah.
These witnesses are terrible.
Yeah, the second-degree murder charge is fucking crazy.
Yeah, this is what happens when you overcharge people and you can't support the case. This case should have been supported as a second-degree murder charge. It's ridiculous.
The defense also had to give the jury somebody else to look at because it's not enough to just say that the investigation was a mess and there's a cover-up. Maybe the dog potentially bit John's arm, but there has to be, some other motive here. And this is where those texts from Brian Higgins from part 1 come back in. In the weeks before John died, Karen had been texting Higgins and some of it had gotten flirty. One message was just, quote, "You're hot."
You're hot.
Wow, that's great work.
That was Karen. I thought that was going to be Brian Higgins that sent that. Like when you read it, that sounds like a dude thing to say, but no, that was Karen that said that.
He replied with essentially the same thing.
Oh,
though,
did
right?
he?
Like you're hot too, or something. Same, ditto.
Awesome conversation.
Yeah. Fucking meatheads.
In another one, she wrote that things with John were, quote, "far from perfect." She vented about the kids, saying that they weren't her family. Brian Higgins, for his part, testified Karen had actually planted a kiss on him a few weeks before John died. The state used all of that as a motive, like a reason that Karen would be angry and reckless, but the defense flipped it around because Brian Higgins was in the house that night.
Yeah, right. That goes both ways. I would say that maybe Higgins being in the house is the reason she didn't want to go into the house in the first place. Perhaps.
Yeah, because I do remember on part 1 defending her and saying that I could see why she wouldn't want to go in there with people that she didn't know. But yeah, you just made a really good point.
Yeah.
Wasn't she already with him though all night? Like at the bar and stuff?
Yeah, but she's saying like the homeowners. Remember we had that conversation where we kind of talked about she didn't
She
know
didn't
the
know
whole,
them well. Yeah,
Right.
could have been a little uncomfortable with that.
I also skimmed that book a little bit that came out.
Yeah.
I skimmed most of it. There's a lot of unnecessary nonsense, and I'm like, all right, I'm not reading all this. But
Yeah.
one of the scenarios he puts is that we talked about her Crohn's disease, and she has a lot of digestive issues, and that her stomach was feeling terrible that night. She just wanted to go home, and another reason she didn't want to go over there.
She didn't want to go blow up their bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. Someone she didn't know. You're not going to go take a big dump over there.
Yeah.
That's true.
I just don't understand a lot of this. Like, if you want to go, can't John just go with his other friends and go party and you go home? Or can't you just drop them off? Like, she's just that kind of woman where that
Little possessive.
that kind of wouldn't fly. There's another woman over there. Like, I can't leave you by yourself over there, John.
We talked about this on I Remember Part 1 with like these, like just people in general where they accuse somebody of cheating and stuff. And like, you might be doing something fucked up, but then later on you find out that they were still doing it too. And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like why were you like, it's
You're
just like,
projecting on me. You're
Yeah.
bad shit.
This guy seemed like a good dude, and she just seems crazy.
Yeah.
Like maybe he just wanted to go party the blizzard away or whatever. Just go home and let him go hang out. What the fuck do you care? Guy's a cop. He works hard. Fuck off.
It's probably what he told her that night.
Yeah, he may have.
And then she killed him. So it's crazy.
that's what it is too. You can hear it in her voice.
Yes.
The voicemails and when you can hear, it's just like an abusive guy, right? I'm not saying that she was physically abusive, but it's like you can hear the veil drop with people, right? And like you can hear it in the voicemails, the way she's yelling at him and like calling him a pervert and like, I know you're kissing another one. They fight like that.
Crazy town.
Right. Like you can just picture what the fight with that one in Aruba over a woman that he allegedly kissed on vacation.
Yeah, he was hugging like his friend's sister or something.
Yeah.
We hadn't seen. She's like, okay. Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that. I'm sure we'll talk about it again.
We know exactly how she acted in this situation.
Yeah.
But you're right. The screaming voicemails, like, oh my God, just be quiet. Very unlikable person. I will reiterate this Karen Reed.
Get into the phone records. At 2:22 that morning, while John was still out on the lawn, there was a 1-second call from Brian Albert's phone to Brian Higgins. Brian Albert's the homeowner. And 17 seconds later, Higgins called back, and that call lasted 22 seconds. Brian Albert's explanation, in his words, was, quote, I butt dial people often and make inadvertent calls. He said he was in bed with his wife and never picked up the call back.
Having sex with her is what he said.
Is that what he said?
That was in the book too, pal.
All right.
Not just in bed, banging.
Banging.
They were banging it out.
Maybe he was going to take video, and he went to grab his phone. And fuck! I called
Accidentally
Higgins.
called.
Yeah. Fuck. Open that beaver.
He was trying to get his sex tape going that night.
All right, I hung up on Higgins. Let's take some videos.
Then fucking Higgins calls him back. He's like, dude, stop.
Higgins testified that he had no memory of answering or calling anybody back, although at an earlier hearing, his answer had been different. He did call Albert back, but they just didn't talk. So the record shows a 22-second call at 2:22 in the morning that nobody on either end remembers. And the defense liked that timestamp because 2:22 is 5 minutes before that disputed 2:27 search.
So you're saying Brian went in the other room and was banging his wife while Jen was out in the other room searching how long do you die in the cold? Obviously, he could be lying about what he was doing.
Yeah,
Sure. But yes, on the timeline, that is how it appears.
When Higgins was at the police station, right? He decided to go do some paperwork or
Yeah,
something.
hammered drunk.
Yeah.
He wanted to go do paperwork.
Yeah, middle of the night.
I think that's the underlying thing that people should remember while we're going through all these different things that happen, butt dials and all this. All these fucking people were drinking for a long time. And they're all a bunch of fucking New England drunks. They probably have no fucking idea what half of them were doing at this time.
Yeah.
They don't remember. They're trying to reconstruct this later
Yeah.
after having to explain what they were doing that night because someone's dead. They're like, oh, fuck, I was blacked out drunk. I think that flavors some of this stuff.
Absolutely, because nobody goes out to the bar for a night and you're like, tonight's going to be fucking life-changing. Like, I'm going to need to remember everything that happens tonight because this is going to be like, my life's going to change today. You know what I mean? Like, you go out, you're like, I'm going to get fucked up tonight and I'm going to have fun.
It's a blizzard. Blah, blah, fuck it, blah.
Brian Higgins probably has got it in the back of his head, like, oh, Karen Reed's going to be there. She thinks I'm hot. Maybe I could, see what's up with that.
Get a little another kissy.
I don't know. People, nobody's thinking about remembering all of this kind of stuff.
So these things that seem odd, coincidences or whatever it is, it's just maybe misexplained, I guess.
I will say though, like I've never butt dialed any. Like couldn't tell you the last time I actually like butt dialed somebody.
Yeah,
it seems pretty hard to do nowadays. I feel.
Maybe Albert was trying to text him pictures of his wife while he was hammering her or something.
Hit the call button instead of the message button.
That's right.
Mm.
That's right.
You're really into this him taking photos of his wife thing. You're really pushing that hard.
Higgins called back. He's like, yeah, what's up?
And his wife's like, who's that? Who are you talking to when we're having sex? And it got ruined.
And those weren't the only calls that nobody claims to remember. Jennifer McCabe's phone called John's phone 7 times between 12:29 and 12:50, right across the window when the phone went still.
And that was when she was waiting for him to come over.
So it's two other things, right? It could be looked at like you're trying to build an alibi. That's what the defense says, right? Or the prosecution says, no, it's there's somebody worried about their friend or just like saying, hey, where you at?
It's a blizzard, and my friend John, who's supposed to join us here to continue the party, and he and his girlfriend are both hammered.
They
he's never been here
to-go
before.
cups of alcohol.
Yeah, I'm worried about them because they haven't showed up yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course, she's probably calling him 7 times.
This is weird, though. I mean, she's just telling the truth probably because she's drunk, but it reads is weird when you read that she testified that she doesn't remember making any of those phone calls.
Was she the one that also called him or texted him to park behind her car in the driveway? Mm-hmm. So she was already calling him that night.
Yeah.
Right. Because he was
Probably
expecting him to walk in the door.
But if she even was telling him to park behind, she might have saw them sitting out there. And then the next thing you know, they're not in the house. So she's calling like, where the fuck you go?
I believe she did testify that she saw them sitting out in front.
It's a little suspicious, though. I feel like I'm talking to my kids. It's a little suspicious, though, because the 7 calls only showed up in extraction from John's phone because on Jennifer McCabe's phone, the calls to John were deleted.
That is sus.
It's odd.
It's reasonable doubt. It makes me question it. So if I'm sitting on a jury, I'm like, it's weird.
I would also say to you in that scenario that if a bunch of cops killed another cop in this house, the last thing they would do is tell this woman, as they're aware of how search warrants on phones work and how information can be retrieved, to start calling him to find his phone. I find that absurd.
No, but maybe they're not even. Maybe she's not aware of it. Maybe she didn't know that he was killed. They all are drunk and acting foolish.
Yeah.
Could it be possible that they come up with an idea to like come up with this an alibi, and then like, wait, don't do that? But it's already been done.
It's very quick, though. We're talking 12:29, which is really overlapping with the time when they just pulled up to the house, right? It's very quick for something like that to have happened and a plan to have been hatched out.
Yeah, that doesn't track.
I might be getting ahead of myself here, but I really think this is an Occam's razor kind of situation, personally. I think a lot of this stuff is a huge stretch of imagination.
So altogether, between Albert, Higgins, and McCabe, the defense counted 9 calls that night that nobody says that they meant to make. Everybody said they're butt dials.
Well, she's not saying a butt dial. She's saying she doesn't remember.
She doesn't remember. But the defense points at, they're like, everybody's saying butt dial. Like the defense kind of...
They're conflating a lot of this stuff, yes.
But they made that like the word kind of, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Of course they did. Buzzword. Oh, that's a lot of butt dials for one incident. Yeah, well, that's how you that's how you put reasonable doubt in people's mind.
These are also really good lawyers. Like, they worked on Kevin Spacey's team and shit.
Oh, this guy is fucking superstar for sure.
Yeah.
She hit the jackpot getting this guy 100%.
He looked greasy to the touch, like an absolute sleazeball human being who's like exactly who you want as a lawyer.
Yeah.
But like, I wouldn't trust that guy to park my car.
That's the guy I'm calling if I get in trouble, man.
I just said a good
Yeah,
lawyer, but
absolutely.
not somebody you want to have in your life on a day-to-day basis.
Oh, this guy's a superstar for sure.
He also was 100% in this for the publicity. He don't give a fuck about Karen Reed.
Oh, wow.
There's a picture of him and Karen canoodling at some point during this process. We can talk about it a little bit
She went
later.
the Jose Baez route.
Perhaps she seems to be able to afford this, but this is not a cheap defense we're talking about here.
No, I can't even imagine what this cost. Also, sometime after the night in question, Brian Higgins threw his cell phone away at a military base. He said he threw it away because of a call from the target of one of his investigations.
They called him and shouldn't have.
Yeah.
So Brian Albert did the same thing. They both got rid of their phone the day before the police were going to come and seize their phone for evidence.
See, like, what are we doing?
But let me ask you, look, they're plugged in. They obviously got advance notice that they were coming to take their phones for this case.
Yeah.
If it were you, regardless of whether you had any involvement in this or not, would you want the police to be searching through your whole archive of everything in your phone?
I wouldn't love it. I don't think that I would go ahead and destroy anything because I'd be like, you know what?
Really?
No. Because I would feel like for sure it's going to come back around and bite me in the ass.
I've never committed a crime in recent memory outside of drinking beer in the passenger seat of my vehicle because I don't observe those laws out here. I believe I would also get rid of my phone before the police were going to take it if I had advance notice.
Even if there was a dead body on your front lawn.
I would think
That you
hard
were
about it,
innocent
but it would
about.
be a big.
Because I felt like if I was innocent, I'd be more likely to give him the phone because I would know. I mean, I would talk to an attorney, but then I would know like this is only going to help. If I don't do it, now I'm in the spotlight.
We've talked about the text messages from Proctor and all that vile shit that was going on. I would imagine there's 10 times that kind of stuff in these guys' phones of what they're saying privately and whatnot, even after the fact of this. That they would not want to become public because it would endanger their professional lives, B, public lives, or private lives, professional lives, all of the above.
I get that.
So I get the inclination to get rid of your phone before the police can impound it.
I definitely understand the want and the feeling and like the reality of like, man, this is going to fuck everything up because, yeah, like you said, these guys are all friends.
Yeah, this guy's nearing retirement. Nobody needs the heat on any of that.
But it's one more layer to the cake, and this is a big layer that
Agree.
you're now stacking on top of everything else.
Agree, 100%.
Yeah. It's nothing. I don't know. That's the way I would look at it. It's just, it's going to come back around,
I understand,
you know?
but it doesn't though. He was never in any danger. The cops never even looked at him. Neither of these guys, they weren't under any suspicion. Nothing was ever going to happen to them. There was no downside to getting rid of their phone. They were never going to be charged with anything.
Unless they had some form of proof on their phone that they just wanted to get rid of.
Sure.
Text message.
I just proved the opposite of the point I was trying to make. But yeah, you're absolutely right. But still.
like all it would take is the night of technically all it could take is like the butt dial, right? To be like, fuck, dude, you called me that night on accident. We need to ditch these phones, but the butt dial still shows up.
Oh yeah, I'm just
you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely. I'm just giving you another plausible explanation from my opinion that I would feel the same way. I would want to dump my phone before anyone got a hold of it.
Yeah, that would never even cross my mind.
Just because of even our private
I need to
conversations
throw away my phone.
that you and I have every day. I don't want anyone reading all that stuff.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Period.
If it's going to keep me out of getting convicted of murder, I read it. I don't give a fuck. That would never even cross my mind if I was innocent. I would say, Here's my phone.
Yeah, but I don't think these guys were ever thought that they were in any jeopardy of getting charged like that in any way.
Well, they're cops. They were going to be protected by the system, which maybe they should have just done it then to do the pomp and circumstance of doing it, knowing like, okay, those phones might just sit on a desk and then we'll get them back if they're never even really going to be investigated.
Yeah. That's a good point.
The guy's just looking for nude photos, really. That's what he's doing.
I absolutely see both sides of this. I'm just giving you another version of why someone might want to get rid of their phone.
I still have no opinion on this case, just for the record. I'm just arguing anything that comes to mind that I have a question about.
I don't really have a true opinion either.
All my shit's up in iCloud anyway. Like, I'd have to purge everything. I can't just get rid of my phone. It doesn't get rid of anything.
Oh, yeah, because they can just pull it
It's
off.
all backed up.
That's why, yeah.
We could have 3 episodes on the forensics of all this.
I know,
That's the
for
problem.
real.
You can't deep dive into every little aspect, but that's my window of view into some of that, how I would be looking at it.
So the dog disappears. The phones disappear. Calls deleted.
There's a lot of shady shit going on.
That's what they got going on.
Absolutely right.
So the defense went further than Brian Higgins. They have to get more there, right? It's pretty loose to say Brian Higgins and John would have fought each other over Karen.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, it's a little. Yeah. So they needed somebody else, and they pointed at Colin Albert. That is Brian Albert's nephew, who had been at the house that night. They suggested that there was some issues going on between Colin and John. Colin said that he was already gone, that he'd gotten a ride home from the McCabe's daughter. So he put himself home by around 12:20, a few minutes before Karen and John even pulled up. And nobody who came back from the bar remembered seeing him in the house. The defense's answer to that was that his timeline rests on his own family and friends. They dug up some videos of him when he was a kid. Well, he was a kid at the time when this was happening, but like 3 years earlier, he was like 16 at the time, where he was told some kids that he was going to beat their asses. It was over a girl specifically. Just high school kid shit. Not really.
Yeah.
Tough guy.
Yeah.
He testified in court that he had never been in a fight in his life, though.
There's also a picture of him with skinned up knuckles that I know he said was from slipping and falling.
It was like a month after this happened, I think.
It's not a fight if you just whoop somebody's ass, Dave.
No.
That's what he meant by it.
It seems pretty substantiated that he had beef with John before, some kind of shit about walking through his yard, and they had words before. That was in the book that I skimmed a bit.
Yeah, and that was part of the information I found out earlier today when I was kind of doing a rundown or putting together like what my thoughts on this. I had found out that Colin threw some beer cans in John's bushes, like some empty ones, and John said something to him, and Colin told him to fuck off.
So some heat, but nothing major.
But like, are we gonna believe then, or the defense is then suggesting that John walks into the house and there's some type of a confrontation between Colin, this 19-year-old kid, and John over
beer cans?
Yeah, over him telling him to fuck off. I don't believe that.
Seems a little silly, especially when your uncle's a Boston police sergeant.
Right.
Like if you started that, he would slap you in the fucking head. I would presume. The other part of this is Brian's brother. So this kid's dad, I believe, Chris Albert, had
Colin's dad, Chris.
Colin's dad had a DUI where he ran into somebody and killed them in town. Ended up like serving like 6 months or something. Then he got elected to count selectman, whatever they call it up there. And so like he's politically pretty powerful guy in town. Bunch of drunks.
Yeah, that
man.
checks out. Have they
What's
ever
going on up there?
I know.
Have they ever driven sober?
Right. What is going on there? Just goes to the fact that no one was ever in any risk of getting a DUI going home. Like
Certainly
that
not.
wasn't ever going to happen. I hope I got that right. I think his name's Chris, Brian's brother, this kid's son, this kid's dad. If I did, too bad.
It's our show.
It's a little suspicious, or you can put in some reasonable doubt when the police interview of Colin happened in the summer of 2023, way after all this happened, and it was only about 10 minutes, and it was done by Michael Proctor. So,
Upstanding gentleman that guy is.
yeah,
Love that guy's work. Texting superstar, that guy.
Yeah, he's awesome. But on top of it being silly that John and this kid would fight each other over the beer cans in the house, Julia Albert, Colin's mom, came by the house in the morning with a birthday gift, and she testified that nobody there had a mark on them, not Brian Higgins, not her son.
Oh, the potential suspect's mom testified, and the wife of the guy, the drunk that killed someone in a DUI accident. Oh, well, we should take her word for it.
She said it was all good, Dave.
Absolutely.
Come on, man. John had bruises on his hands, and the defense said that those were defensive wounds from some type of a fight. Because you could easily be covering yourself up
Yeah.
and get bruises on the back of your hands.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah.
Or fall down, hit him anywhere. Could be anything.
Yeah. Another issue, the DA's office had publicly said that Proctor had no close personal relationship with anybody involved in the case. What came out at trial was that Proctor's sister, Courtney, was close friends with Julie Albert, that the two families babysat each other's kids, and that Colin had been the ring bearer at Courtney's wedding when he was little.
Oh, barely even knew him. They had no idea who that was.
Colin testified he'd known the Proctor family, quote, since I was a little kid. And by the defense's count, Julie Albert called Proctor's sister 67 times in the months after John died, including the day Karen got arrested.
6'7", you say?
Yeah.
Oh boy, what a comeback for that one.
The one about Karen calling on the day Karen got arrested isn't that big. Everybody's probably calling each other.
Sure, of course.
Like every single one of these people involved call each other.
Of course, their friend died.
Yeah.
So while all of this was going on, there was a huge circus around this whole case. We've been talking kind of like teasing Turtle Boy for the past 2 weeks. There's a blogger named is it Aiden? Mm. There's a blogger named Aiden Kearney who went by Turtle Boy.
I like turtles.
He turned this.
It's that same kid, right?
Yeah, it's him. It's grown up.
He turned this whole thing into an obsession, right? Like a national thing, especially local, big local thing called the Canton cover-up. And covering it for him meant going straight at the witnesses on camera. And he led what he called rolling rallies, caravans of supporters, and like people would just roll up to houses demanding that people tell them the truth about stuff, screaming cop killer at Jennifer McCabe at a high school lacrosse game. Very, very out of hand behavior.
Very.
He ended up getting himself arrested and indicted on a whole bunch of charges, conspiracy, plus count after count of witness intimidation. Because he's not doing, like, dude, you're putting a spotlight on it for, like, in all the wrong ways.
Yeah,
you're going about this, dude.
You're not doing a good job here, buddy. A snake man would have done better. A turtle boy is out of his element.
Prosecutors said that Karen had been feeding him non-public information, which, of course, she was. And there were about 189 calls between the two of them for over about 7 months.
I think she probably owes him her life at this point, I'll say.
Yeah. Meanwhile, because of Turtle Boy, this whole Free Karen Reed movement.
Oh, Mike, that's FKR. Free Karen Reed.
Okay. Yeah. I thought it was odd that her supporters were telling her to go fuck herself. Unless they wanted to fuck her, and that's what they meant. I don't know.
No, there's some of that, too, I'm sure.
It's really weird that FKR is going to be your thing.
They wore all pink because pink is Karen's favorite color.
Nice.
And Karen, she going along with that, like, not likable vibe. She didn't stay quiet. She sat for national TV interviews, did the documentary that we've referenced. All of this shit that we've covered over the past 2 weeks went to the jury at the start of July 2024, and they got stuck.
Oh, you don't say.
They sent out notes saying they were deeply divided, and after days of it, the judge declared a mistrial. It was a hung jury, and that's got to be such a defeated feeling after all those months of work for both sides.
Oh, yeah. It's better than guilty, but it's not the acquittal you were looking for.
And then the prosecution's probably like, fuck, man. You know, like the state's probably who has to pay for that? Is like the county or the state? Like all that money. I'm sure somebody's like behind closed doors fucking pissed about all the money wasted and stuff.
Right. And also, we kind of glossed over, but that Turtle Boy's a huge piece of shit. And a lot of these supporters are as well. Just the vile comments and things they're saying to John's family. It's just,
we talked about it in part 1, I think, that they booed his parents when they were walking in. The ones who had their son killed.
Yeah, just so far and above any sense of decency. Just this is really bad.
It's just part of that whole unlikable aura about her, right? Like, she seems like she's loving the spotlight. She seems like she loves all these people wearing pink and making her feel like a celebrity. And then they're doing this heinous stuff. Yeah. He's calling people a cop killer at a high school fucking lacrosse game.
Yeah. It's just general public that think that they're so plugged in. Like, you're gonna go talk to John's dad and call him you're lying and all this bullshit. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? Your information comes from Turtle Boy.
Right.
Like, fuck you.
And also, like, what happens to her has no impact on you in your life.
Yes.
Why are you obsessed with this and making it your identity?
So weird. These people are out there every day. Go get a fucking job. What are you doing camped out here, jerk offs? Ugh.
Yeah, there's a difference between,
like, I get fighting the system and standing up for the unjustly accused, but this is some bullshit. A lot of the activity.
This just crossed way over that line.
Way over.
Yeah, like West Memphis 3, those guys had supporters out there all the time.
Yeah.
I didn't hear any of this nonsense.
John's dad's not fucking involved in a conspiracy covering up who killed his son.
Right.
Fuck you.
All these cases bring that out, though. I remember when the Delphi murders subreddit, their mod quit in the comment section. It was fucking crazy. Like all these type of people, like just a little echo chamber of them. And I remember looking through those comment sections, like, what is even happening in this subreddit? This is fucking crazy.
Most people vote. Most people are out there. They live in your neighborhood, these fucking lunatics, man. Just be in a fucking prison somewhere. Locked up so they can't do any more damage to society. I know that makes me sound like a fascist. I'm speaking hyperbolically, but honestly, fuck these people, man. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with you?
Well, just watch the documentary. It shows all that. It highlights it. It celebrates it. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Look, you've been hearing us talk about BetterHelp for years now, but have we ever really talked about how happy people are with the services they've received? Don't take it from us. Go check out the real-time customer reviews at betterhelp.com/reviews. Each day, hundreds of reviews are updated, giving you insight into how successful and how happy people have been with their service. BetterHelp has an average live therapy session rating of 4.9 out of 5, based on over 1.7 million client session reviews. As a podcast that has experience with star ratings and reviews, those kind of numbers clearly speak for themselves. Go check them out for yourself at betterhelp.com/reviews. Over 6 million people have used BetterHelp globally, and with consistent feedback from real users, it's easy to see why so many people choose BetterHelp. If you're looking for quality, BetterHelp therapists have at least 3 years and 1,000 hours of hands-on experience. And to get started, all you need to do is fill out a brief questionnaire. BetterHelp does the initial matching for you, focusing on finding a therapist that best meets your needs and preferences. You can also switch to a different therapist at any time. See the reviews, see what stands out, and see if BetterHelp is right for you. Visit betterhelp.com/necro. That's betterhelp.com/necro. August is basically the Sunday night of summer. Fall is right around the corner. Everything's about to get busy again. And suddenly, I'm looking in my closet, wondering why I still own half the crap I do. So if you're like me and you're looking to hit the reset button before fall, Quince is a pretty great place to start. Quince is all about having fewer, better pieces of clothing. The kind of stuff you actually wear instead of hanging it in the closet and rediscovering it 3 years later with the tag still on. Their ultra-soft organic cotton tees are great everyday basics, and their premium Mongolian cashmere sweaters are perfect once the weather finally cools down and we can stop being pissed at the sun. They've also got premium denim and tailored chinos starting at just $60, with the fit and quality you'd expect from a luxury brand. Best of all, Quince prices everything 50 to 80% less than similar brands. They work directly with ethical factories and cut out the middlemen, so you're paying for quality instead of a fancy name on the label. Look, you all know me. I love my NASCAR and wrestling tees, but those can only get me so far. This summer, I've been wearing Quince's extra fine polo and super soft touch tee, and they've quickly become two of my favorite shirts. They look great, they're ridiculously comfortable, and they're usually the first things I reach for when I'm getting dressed. Yes, I'm grabbing these before a NASCAR shirt. That should tell you something. I'm already eyeballing my next order to get ready for the fall. And it's not just clothing. Quince has everything from home and bath essentials to premium cookware and travel must-haves. Upgrade your everyday. Download the Quince app for app-exclusive offers or go to quince.com/necro. Get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada and the UK. That's QUINCE.com/necro.
Several of the jurors went public and said that that the jury actually agreed on the big stuff. They just never they weren't able to say that in court. They said they were unanimous in that Karen was not guilty of second-degree murder and not guilty of leaving the scene. What they got stuck on was the manslaughter charge in the middle. None of that was ever delivered as an official verdict. So legally, the whole thing was just a mistrial across the board. Like you said before, man, that overcharging with that second-degree murder thing.
Yeah.
Did they report all of that to the judge, though?
I'm not sure.
Like, I feel like if the judge would have known they were that close, or at least on two of the three, you could have pushed them a little more, or maybe they did, and the judge was like, no, you guys are so stuck, this is a mistrial. But it seems so weird that they're set on two of them, but they can't go anywhere.
This judge didn't seem real interested in hearing what other people had to say. They tried to initially, she had some conflict of interest according to the defense, and they tried to have her removed, and she was having none of it. And she seemed especially sided with, she seemed to side with the prosecution most of the time.
Gotcha.
I wasn't real happy when the jury kept coming back and this, and she didn't really want to give them explanations and stuff. That's how I took it.
Sorry to be bothered with your job, Judge.
Yeah.
Whoops.
God damn.
Karen's team took this to the U.S. Supreme Court, saying that retrying her on those two charges would be considered double jeopardy since the jury had basically already cleared her.
No, that's not really how that works.
They're like they basically cleared her.
They said it in an interview on TV. It's the same thing.
Basically, that counts.
That
Hell of an effort, guys. Hell of an effort.
The Supreme Court wasn't having that.
No.
That is a very silly argument. That's so silly.
So there's going to be a second trial.
Also, it was just a few members of the jury, right, that actually came out and said that. They could have just been going in the business for themselves.
Sure.
Yeah,
And the defense is like, see?
We totally all agreed on that. So come on, Supreme Court. That's double jeopardy. Stop.
Yeah, it wasn't like the jury sat down in like one collective interview.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just a few people that could have just went rogue.
Right.
That is ridiculous.
They were trying to get that book deal. Oh, I'm still trying to find one person in this story I like. John's parents, I guess, but they're not even really in the story.
Yeah.
And John, obviously, but we said that a few weeks ago.
So the state kind of reworked things for round two. The town audit had landed, and it went both ways. It listed the failures at the scene, but no evidence that any Canton officers tampered with anything or that there was any conspiracy to frame anyone. Even defended the leaf blower, calling it an innovative move that helped uncover evidence.
Hell yeah, leaf blower. Good for you, bro.
The federal investigation, that's the one that brought the ARCA company in. It's fucking chaos, right? They don't even stand for anything.
That's right. What do we call it? A real cool company called ARCA.
I think so.
We gave them a better name than they could come up with.
And the state brought in a real heavy hitter as their special prosecutor, a guy named Hank Brennan, who years earlier had been on the defense team for the mobster Whitey Bulger. Brennan got to announce the federal news himself in open court and said, quote, "It is closed. it is over.
Whatever that means.
Right,
Okay,
dude.
dork.
Thanks, Hank.
Nerd.
Yeah, nerd.
Add him to the list. Not likable.
Right. As soon as he said those words.
Yeah. Ugh. Hank, you had such an opportunity.
He's like Jesus on the cross. It is closed. It is over. I commend my soul to you, Father.
Is that what Jesus said?
It is something. It is finished or something.
I didn't know he
right?
had. I didn't know he had any last
Oh
words.
yeah,
Something biblical.
something. Yeah, I don't know.
You know, it's in the Bible.
Yeah, that's way in my past. I don't. Not the expert any longer.
The defense added some new layers. They added a woman named Victoria George, who sat through the entire first trial in the juror box as an alternate juror. She never got to deliberate after the. She never got to deliberate, but after the mistrial, she joined Karen's defense team. And from what I had looked at online and stuff, reading about this, it's kind of a unprecedented move or whatever.
Doesn't seem normal.
Nothing about this seems normal. What the fuck?
What did Nancy Grace think about this? She's like, chaos in Canton. Victoria George joins the defense. My God.
She probably wasn't happy about it.
She probably hated Karen Reed, right?
Oh man, I would imagine so. Let's look it up. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up.
Well, while we're doing that, Jesus' final words.
It is finished? It's
Well,
something like that.
it also depends on, what book of the gospel. There's 7 phrases that are, these are apparently in order, but they're spread out. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
Oh, right.
Truly, I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise. Woman, behold your son, behold your mother.
Oh, that's right.
My God, why have you forsaken me?
Right.
I thirst. Here's yours, Dave. It is finished.
Oh, there you go.
And Father, into your hands I commit my spirit.
There you go. Yeah, because he took the 2 thieves on his right and left hand up to heaven with him. Good for you, Jesus. Making friends, keeping friends. I like it.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I learned something. I didn't know he had any last words. I thought it was just like a done deal. They threw him up there and then he just died.
3 days, pal.
Well, yeah, but I didn't
say
know like
something
he
for
was
3 days. Yeah.
that's true.
No,
wasn't
not
scary.
3 days. That's the dead time.
3 hours.
3 hours.
Yes. Wasn't it like noon and he died at 3?
Yeah, that's right. A lot of people when I was
We're
a
not
kid,
forced to learn this anymore, Dave.
No.
We don't have to remember.
When I was a kid, people wouldn't talk during those hours, 12 to 3, out of respect for Jesus up there.
Best 3 hours of school, right?
Yeah, I don't say anything.
Sit there and
Take
play
a nap.
tic-tac-toe.
That's about all we had to do, right?
Yeah.
Shut up! Jesus is dying! Disrespectful! You wrap your knuckles with this ruler.
I did not have to deal with that. That was kind of out by the time I was in school.
Yeah, me too. I'm not that old, pal.
Well, you said it.
I'm inflating my experience.
We're looking up Nancy Grace.
Yeah, I can't really tell. Everything she does is all in fucking
Chaos in Canton tonight, viewers. Victoria George, alternate jurors, now working for the defense. I have not been so flabbergasted since Tot Mom was acquitted of killing Kaylee. More on Court TV and my podcast. I'll be at Crime Con selling my panties.
I don't think she's ever done anything likable in my mind, so I'm assuming she loves Karen Reed.
I think that she's for John.
Well,
we're all for
John.
John.
That's right, pal. Say it in unison. We're all for John.
I'm Team John.
I don't know. Whatever she did on this is titled Frame Job or Deadly Romance, all caps.
Oh, of course, all caps.
Everything she does is in caps. If you ever look at her feeds, it's just all caps.
Newsflash, I learned how to use a keyboard today.
That's so obnoxious.
Yeah, if you go to her podcast feed, everything's in caps.
Oh, God.
Did you know there's a caps lock button on my computer and it's been on for 40 years?
I'll look this all up.
She is against Karen Reed. She thinks Karen is guilty of this.
All right, Nancy. I see your game here.
That's kind of tracks. I figured she'd be against Karen Reed.
She's a prosecutor. Yeah. Former prosecutor. Now she's a baller podcaster and Court TV host of the Nancy Grace Show. Oh, she's not. Is she on Court TV still? I really know nothing about Nancy Grace besides
The only thing
roasting her.
On her profile, it says Crime Stories streaming on Fox 1.
No, Fox
What
One.
the fuck Fox 1 is. The still shots they use for like her reels or videos are the most unflattering things. She looks like a Disney villain in every fucking photo.
She really does.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And she's like, "Ah."
Like, imagine living your life wanting to be so unlikable.
What are you sneering at the camera?
Yeah. Ugh. Add her to the list. I don't like her tonight either on this show.
Does Karen Reed's Crohn's disease mean she's a cunt in and out?
Hot take, Nancy. Not sure.
I think she killed John. She's a cunt. Crohn's cunt. That's her name. Crohn's cunt.
That's why she's on Fox 1 now. Can she use that colorful language?
Sure,
Is that a streaming? That's a streaming thing,
I
right?
have no idea what that is.
I don't either.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
I've just never seen it on the television, so.
Today on Fox 1, why the Crohn's cunt ran down John. Special edition. I'm Nancy Grace. And you're a cunt. A Crohn's cunt. You shit your pants, hit the gas in reverse, and ran over John, didn't you?
So in October of 2024, the state handed over garage area footage that nobody had seen before. Remember we talked about like how...
Oh, you mean after the first trial's over?
Yeah,
Found
yeah,
it?
yeah.
They were slow playing a lot of stuff here. That goes back to the judge, too. She wasn't really putting her foot on the prosecution to turn over evidence like she should have been. And yeah. Sorry, continue, sir.
We had that. We had the one with the flip on it, right?
Yeah.
Where it came back mirrored. But in this one, this was turned over late in January of 2025. This clip showed a person approaching the right rear of Karen's SUV as it rolled into the Sally port, the broken taillight corner, and walking away shortly after. The clip was too blurry and grainy to make out who it was or what condition the taillight was in. And then the same month, the state mentioned that more footage might be stored on a retired detective's old work computer.
Oh, sure.
Oh, how about
That's not
that?
a chain of custody issue at all.
So the defense says that's Brian Higgins there that night.
At 2 a.m.
Right. Well, we know that he was out there where he was 1:30 at least claiming
that was-
to do paperwork.
But they didn't get the car until the next day, so that's not the same night.
Oh,
But
yeah,
still,
yeah.
he likes to fuck around in the middle of the night at the police station for some reason. Sorry, that's the point I was making.
Oh, okay. But yeah, still, like, what they can't make it out that it's too grainy. But even if it is him, like, why are you always out there so
Yeah.
late, dude?
Yeah. Don't you work normal business hours? And are you, in fact, hammered every time you work?
You're hot.
In all fairness, she said that to him. He didn't say that.
He said it back, right? He said something back. You're hot. You're hot too.
He doesn't know how to text. He just repeats back to her everything she sends to him.
Eric, you're hot too. I love you, Karen Reed.
What a fucking Neanderthal.
It's 2 a.m. I'm drunk. I'm gonna go do some paperwork at the police station. Sure.
The defense went after the source. They asked for a forensically sound copy of the department's video system, metadata, everything, because a simple drag and drop onto a USB stick wipes the information that shows whether a file has ever been altered. And when their video expert traveled out to examine the CANT system, a trip that cost about $12,000, he found the department had never preserved any of the authentic footage at all, no archive or log. One of Karen's lawyers said in court, quote, "There is no log. You get no footage. You get no log. This was a complete This was a complete and utter waste of time."
That's phenomenal. I'm just going to inject here that imagine you don't have the budget of Karen Reed's defense. Like, imagine what normal defendants go through and how they get fucking railroaded and overcharged and forced to plea with bullshit like this when you can't afford to defend yourself. You don't have FKR supporters everywhere. You don't have Turtle Boy fucking amplifying the injustice of your case.
Did she come from money? I don't remember. Or was it just like the donations and stuff from all of her supporters?
Sure, like her,
She has some money.
yeah, it seemed like her dad was very well off. He was a dean at the college, right?
Well, she was an executive of Fidelity. Like
Yeah.
she made some money.
And she was a financial teacher on the side.
Yeah. She had money.
I couldn't remember if she had a job or if she was just a stay-at-home wife. I really don't remember when this started 3 months ago.
It's just hot, the in-depthness of what the defense is doing here. Normal people don't get that kind of. Public defenders don't have a budget like that. Normal people don't get to push back against police and prosecutors like this.
And they did it well.
Yeah. Just the mass scale of injustice that goes on in this country when you don't have money, I guess is what I'm trying to highlight.
The state said that no one had misled anyone, and the prosecutor told the judge that he tried to give the defense every chance to get what they wanted. Days before the retrial, the judge granted the defense a copy of the Sally Port footage that did actually exist. So the whole time it did exist.
It's just nonsense. Come on.
But like you said, man, how many times does somebody just get told an answer and then they don't have the resources to try to figure out if that answer was accurate or not?
Absolutely.
And then
absolutely. Every day, every hour of every day in this country.
Michael Proctor, who, obviously he fucking just blew up the entire first trial. He was gone this time around because between the two trials, the state police had suspended him and then fired him outright after internal board review found that he had botched the job. Clearly botched this job, but then he had also been drinking on duty.
Are any of these cops sober? And
I don't think so.
I don't think anyone in this entire case is sober.
Bunch of fucking degenerates.
What the fuck, man? Like that alone, the investigating officer's drunk on the job. Like that's an acquittal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was on the witness list for both sides. Either one could have called him, but the state decided they didn't need him because other investigators could walk the jury through the case without, having to have the defense or, give the defense an opportunity to bring up all those texts and shit. And the defense didn't call him either because if they had, he'd have been one of their witnesses and the rules would have, they would have had to ask him friendly questions. They couldn't have gotten all super aggressive
Hostile with him about him being drunk and searching for nudes and texting everybody who knew about the case.
How about that cunt Karen Reed, huh? That's something. Like, what are you going to ask him, man?
Right. So the second trial got underway in the spring of 2025, same courthouse before the same judge. Brian Albert and Brian Higgins, the two guys the defense wanted the most for the jury to look at, were both on the state's own witness list again. And this time the prosecution called neither one. The judge kept the cover-up story on a really short leash, ruling on the eve of the retrial that the defense hadn't shown enough to name Colin, the nephew, as a suspect. So they weren't allowed to point at him by name.
Which, from what we know, that probably is fair.
Like, he lied about never being in a fight, but...
Well, the videos were him threatening. He said he'd never been in an actual fight. Right. So, like, he's an internet tough guy, I think is what it came down to.
So, I feel like it's a stretch to say that it happened. But that they got into a fight over the beer cans being thrown in the bushes.
Oh, I agree with you. No.
I think the theory's a stretch, sure. Yeah. I think everything the defense said is a stretch here.
The state kind of softened their theory of the crime a bit. Their expert wasn't quite arguing a full speed reverse into John anymore. It was more like the SUV clipped John with a glancing blow.
Yeah.
Like kind of knocked him off balance, and then he fell and cracked his head on the ground.
I think that's right. It wasn't a winning strategy in the first time, so like maybe it wasn't so violent. Maybe we're going to frame it as sort of accidental, but not really. Still second-degree murder, though. Right?
So is that how that works? I don't know. Do you have to do you have to retry her for the exact same crime?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
They did, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You would think they would have learned.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, motherfuckers got to learn their lesson here.
Yeah. They could have, if they could have just salvaged it and tried her with involuntary manslaughter, they probably would have got a conviction.
You would think that what you heard those the jury say, or a few of the people from the first jury say, would hold a little concern, right? Like, maybe they really did think that way, and we didn't do a good job.
Absolutely.
It's halftime. You got to switch up your strategy when you're losing.
Didn't work.
The second time around, the medical examiner gave the defense a little more on cross-examination. She agreed that nothing in her autopsy report ever discussed whether John's injuries were consistent with a car accident. She agreed that the mechanical CPR machine used on John that morning could explain some of his internal injuries. On redirect, the state brought out that before she'd ever did the autopsy, she'd been told Karen had reportedly said, quote, "I hit him," out on the lawn. The other medical opinion was a review by an armed forces medical examiner that described the pictures of John's injuries as, quote, "nonspecific and may be result of a variety of different mechanisms." AKA, I don't know.
But that could also line up with a car hitting you hitting the ground, and the paramedics trying to save you.
Yeah.
All the above.
Oh, and that raccoon that got his arm that clearly was not a dog that we discovered. We figured that one out last week.
I agree with that.
That's what we all said. We all agreed. I think.
I think I still do.
Speaking of the dog,
Yeah.
I got ahead of myself there.
The state had tried to keep the dog bite expert out of things, but the judge let her testify anyway. The state never called that veterinary DNA witness from part 2 at all.
Weren't they the ones that kind of canceled each other out?
Yeah, and there was like some talk of pig DNA.
Yeah.
The first lady who was from the defense said that it looked consistent with dog bites,
Right.
his arm.
They wouldn't let her say the word dog in front of the
That's right.
jury.
That's right.
Or canine. Like they said just animal bite.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it was.
But
But you knew what she was saying.
Right.
Well,
like I always find that interesting when you can watch live trials, like on court TV, when they take the jury out of the room
Yeah,
and then you
sure.
can still see, and like when you're watching, you're like, well, wait, if the jury was allowed to hear that would be a lot different.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, hold on a second.
Absolutely.
Then the prosecutor brought up the dog DNA anyway, while the expert was on cross-examination, and the defense just fucking went all in at it. They wanted a mistrial with prejudice, which would have ended the case for good. They argued that putting the DNA in front of the jury without a single witness to back it up, like that's super, what the fuck? But
Very prejudicial.
yeah, judge denied it.
Oh, of course.
oh, fuck you, Judge.
Like you said, the judge, right? Is that what you read? That the judge was just very
arguing, siding with the prosecution most of the time.
Showed a little favoritism to the prosecution.
That was the defense's slant on this, yes.
the Dighton sergeant from part 2 that we talked about. He was the officer that was kind of he was from a different department, wasn't part of the same circle. He looked at the Sallyport photo and said, "I know what I saw regarding the tail light." He took the stand again, this time as a defense witness. The first time he told that story at the first trial, it was the state had called him, and the state's counters on him landed too. He agreed that he never saw a single trooper touch the tail light. His entire report on that day was just one line: the vehicle had damage to the right rear tail light. Prosecutor put his first trial testimony in front of him, and he conceded that he'd never described any big difference back then, and admitted that he'd been following the case coverage like everyone else. I think that's a big one too, when you have to admit that, you're reading the newspapers and shit online.
Yeah.
In the middle of that trial, another piece of that Sallyport video surfaced, and the jury watched snow melt and fall off the SUV as it sat inside. The defense said that if snow was coming off the bumper, pieces of broken taillight would have been coming off with it.
Not necessarily.
Those attorneys didn't exactly strike me as car guys. Not sure I'm taking their word on that one.
So the text messages between Brian Higgins and Karen got worse the second time around. Her own team opened the door. They had a witness read some of the messages out loud, and that let the state bring in a batch the first jury never heard. In the new ones, Karen told Brian Higgins that she was single. She claimed that John had hooked up with another woman in a hotel down in Aruba. The state used all of that to push a harder version of the motive, that this was almost a domestic violence thing leading up to it, right? Mm-hmm. Karen stayed off the stand again, but the jury heard from her anyway, right? Because she did this fucking documentary running her mouth, and that was able to be played in front of her. When I was following this in real time, I thought that the documentary could potentially be the thing that just like does her in.
That killed her. Yeah.
She got a big mouth. There were times when she was standing next to her attorney on the steps after days in court, and reporters are asking her things, and she answers, and then her attorney's like tries to answer for her and tell her to be quiet.
Yeah, like tries to fix it real quick,
Yeah.
like he's white out or something.
Yeah, and she just keeps talking anyway. Oh, and I forgot to mention, after the first trial, or right before the end of the first trial, there's pictures of Jackson with his arms around her out in public, I guess.
You had said earlier that they were schmoozy together.
Yeah. They were big hits on the social scene. I've
bet.
read in between trials and stuff. They were out buying clothes and,
Okay.
socializing. And
Shit happens.
it's just
I
not
guess,
a good
right?
look, I guess. I don't know. If
it's
you know you're going to get
terrible.
retried again, stay out of the public eye. Why would you do
Just
that?
go away for a while. And then when it's all over, then come out with your story and your book.
And shut up.
But
If
when,
your
like, you're
lawyer
so-
tells you to shut up, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, listen to your lawyer. When your own supporters are harassing innocent people,
Yeah.
and then you're parading around like you're the hottest new celebrity couple.
It's not a good look.
Nope.
They weren't together or anything. They just, that was the gossip stuff. But
I'm
apparently
taking
that
it as they
wasn't
were
true.
stooping.
Optics are optics,
Optics
right?
are optics, yeah.
But yeah, so being able to play TV interviews and stuff, because it wasn't just a documentary. Like she did Dateline and shit, and they played a quote where she said, quote, "I didn't think I hit him, but I could have clipped him." Like she's asking it as a question, and then quote, "Could I have tagged him in the knee and incapacitated him?" And her lawyer probably is sitting in the back like, "Shut the fuck
Yeah.
up."
Just even letting her do that was probably not a smart idea.
Probably not.
They should have told her no.
Because they know she has a big mouth.
Put the old kibosh on that.
What a great word, kibosh.
No,
Love
it is
it.
a good word. It's underused.
Very much so.
So the jury got the case in the middle of June 2025, and it took them 4 days. On June 18th, they came back, cleared Karen on all three of the big charges: the second-degree murder, the manslaughter, and the leaving the scene. They convicted her on one single thing: a misdemeanor, operating under the influence.
She does that every day.
So
You could have dished out about
everybody in that
100 of those.
right.
You get a DUI, and you get a DUI.
This whole fucking town gets a
The
DUI.
jury goes into business for themselves and just gives everyone a DUI. The judge is like, "You can't do that." Like, shut up, judge. You get a DUI.
So the judge gave her 1 year of probation, which that's like a first-time DUI. Afterwards, Karen stood outside the courthouse and told the crowd, quote, "No one has fought harder for justice for John O'Keefe than I have."
You sure about that?
What did you do? Show us one thing.
That's that unlikable fucking self-awareness, man.
It's just unnecessary. Just go home. Go out the back door and go home.
Right.
She's sucked into the fame and all this bullshit now.
With the
all these-
whole sign language for love sign
it's
and all
just-
that.
God.
Go home and disappear, man. It's just a bad look.
John's brother, his parents, and the niece and nephew that he raised, they filed a wrongful death suit and named Karen and two of the bars from that night. A judge allowed most of the family's claims to go forward, and as of this summer, like right now, the case is just kind of stuck, sitting there. The judge, however, told the lawyers on both sides to, quote, "stop pandering to social media and find like the fucking chill out with Karen being all up on the media and stuff."
Is she on social media?
I'm not really sure
No.
necessarily.
Turtle Boy probably is.
I don't know, man. Turtle Boy got a lot of charges filed on him with fucking witness tampering and shit.
Is he put away or is
No, but
He was in jail for a while.
is he now?
I don't think right now he is, but they put his ass in jail for a little bit.
He's got a couple outstanding from what I saw.
That guy's a huge piece of shit.
Yeah. You're not helping, man. You're just fucking being an asshole.
he? Yeah.
On the other side, Karen filed a bunch of lawsuits against Proctor, the state police, the people who'd been in the house, because she said if she's to be believed here, that she was just completely framed and defamed here, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
throughout this kind of all this shit playing out, more of Proctor's texts came out, and this time there was a bunch of racist and misogynistic stuff in there. So
All kinds of shit.
Yeah.
We should have Mike read them so we can soundboard it.
Proctor might be the most unlikable of this entire story.
Oh, the guy's a huge cock.
Oh
yeah.
my God, dude. Can you imagine how many people that guy fucked over that
Right.
didn't have the legal resources of
Yeah.
Karen Reed
And the
shit?
additional thing with him is that the prosecutor, I believe, had to send out letters to defense attorneys for clients who had been convicted by cases he worked on about re-examining like their cases because this guy was such a piece of shit and stuff. So I think some people got to reopen their cases based on his misconduct. And
every single black
Sure.
person that he worked on
Absolutely.
convicting should be looked at.
Yeah.
this is another whole huge aspect of this case. That
Right.
it was another 2 shows in and of itself that we can't really cover the whole thing. But yeah, I think some cases were reopened because of this asshole.
The final conclusion would remain Proctor, no good.
Yeah.
We could do 2 more shows on it, but that's it.
That's our final thought. Proctor, no good.
And then the people Karen sued have turned right back around and start suing her, right? Suing Turtle Boy.
Sure.
So that's just kind of where stuff is with Karen Reed. And I feel like, just like a peek behind the curtain, I've been kind of like just reading what I had written and gone over a couple of days ago. And I'm like getting that writer block feeling that I got a year ago when I tried to write this down, where it's like, I don't even know how you fucking weed through all this bullshit to even like come to a conclusion to wrap it all up. But like,
Sure.
that's the story.
That's the story of her trial.
That's
Right.
it. And
Yeah, we will probably never get a definitive answer. It's going to be, people can argue this forever.
yeah, take the legal. You just have to take the legal aspect out of it completely, because there's no way you could ever find her guilty of anything.
No.
Agreed.
So you take that out, then it's like, well, no one knows the full truth because they were all drinking.
Heavily.
Yeah.
I think she probably did clip him and doesn't even remember doing it.
I think 100% she hit him with a car and does not remember any of it.
Part of my crazy, and we've already talked about it, I had a feeling as I was getting done with my theory this afternoon when I was working through it, I'm like, we're probably going to talk about like everything that I even wrote down, which we pretty much did. But the one thing I wanted to look up during that time, was like, how hard do you have to hit your head to crack the back of your skull like that?
Not that hard.
Right. It's not that much force. And John was a tall guy.
If you fall the right way,
Yeah,
it
there
could
was-
be simple.
People get in bar fights and kill people with one punch all the time because they knock the person out and they fall backward and hit their head on the
So
ground.
you're indicating Colin punched him and knocked him out and they killed
And
him,
they-
is what you're saying.
I don't think John ever went in that house. I think she backed into him on purpose or not. I don't think she did it on purpose. I think she was fucking hammered. He probably got out of the car. They were fighting, slammed the door. She did whatever.
Maybe thought she put it in drive, but went to reverse.
Absolutely.
Went to peel out,
Absolutely.
and then it's slick and hit him.
I don't think she meant to kill him. I think she absolutely hit him with the car.
Do you think that night she knew she might have hit him, but was just mad and drove away? Or do you think she was so drunk and just oblivious?
I'm not sure she even knew. Yeah, I don't know.
And in a blizzard, you might not. You're
Yeah.
going over snow drifts. It's icy. You're hitting things. So I could see that.
I
how
think
you
it-
wouldn't know.
I think it's more he was gonna go out. They were arguing. She wanted to go home. He wanted to go party. He said, "Let me just go in and see what's up." Whatever. They argued. She's like, "Fuck you," whatever. She's just gonna leave him there, go home. She probably backed up, pissy, hit him. Maybe never even realized it. Then didn't hear from him again. Made those angry phone calls, but yeah.
Proctor could also engage in a cover up, right? Frame her. And she could have also hit him too and killed him, because in his text messages, he says pretty early on that there's not a lot of evidence against her. But then like 16 hours later, he says she's fucked and he switches
Sure.
his tune. I think he's very good friends with this family.
I don't think there's any
Proctor
chance
was.
they were ever going to investigate any of the people in that house.
Absolutely not. And so I think that there's a possibility that as soon as he starts seeing like, oh wait, like this guy's dead on their front lawn, there's no witnesses, like this is pretty muddy, I'm gonna make it so that she just goes away.
Yeah, I think that's completely plausible.
Yeah,
I
sure.
think I
in
agree.
that whole first 16 hours, he's talking about it. I think he calls her a cunt during that time. Like he's just like off the rails.
Just a vile human being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
I
think there was a cover up from Proctor,
But not the cover up, you think?
but not the cover up that the defense said.
I think that's very plausible. Yeah, you're going to protect, even if your friends didn't do it, even if like someone might get a hint that they may have been responsible because you couldn't prove she did, that absolutely you're going to maybe make that cover up just to protect them so it never looks their way. Yeah. Absolutely.
And you have a Boston cop dead, and you have an angry, jealous girlfriend.
Sure.
So you make sure that she's the one that's going to pay for it.
I mean, come on. She hit him with the car.
Yeah, that's where.
That's Occam's razor. All this other conspiracy stuff. He walked in and then cops killed him. Even if all that happened, these are experienced cops with 20, 30 years on the job. You think that this frame-up job that they're playing, they're going to drag them out and leave them on their own front lawn? That is absurd. That makes absolutely no sense in any realm.
They got rid of a dog and cell phones. They're not going to get rid of a body?
Yeah. They're going to go drag into some neighborhood where, not the greatest place. They're not leaving him in the Boston sergeant's front yard. That is ridiculous. That did not happen.
Yeah, because at that point, what do you have to start saying? Like that Karen hit him, and they knew he got hit and didn't do something. You know what I mean?
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That's not the course of action you take. If somehow Higgins or whoever else punched John, he accidentally died in the house, you don't take him to your front yard. That is not sensical.
But then even if you did believe that, you have to have some kind of connection to make it seem like that's what it was. This is just a theory pulled out of thin air because you don't want it to be Karen.
100%. It's Occam's razor. Like all these crazy conspiracies with all these additional people that all had to keep quiet this whole time. It even involved Carrie Roberts, who grew up with John, was a good friend of his, who wasn't even there. And somehow you involved her.
Yeah.
It's just...
What was she involved again?
She's one of the three Karen called
that morning to go to the
that
house.
morning, picked up Gemma Cave. She drove over there, and they all three showed up together.
When Karen immediately goes, there he is, when nobody else had found him.
Yes, because she was looking at an exact spot where she pulled away from. Come on.
Yeah.
The simplest explanation is usually the right one. And there's not a huge conspiracy of cops that killed another cop and then pulled him out on their own front lawn and left him.
I think there is a huge conspiracy of cops trying to make life easier for themselves.
Oh, I would agree 100%. I think that's the standard. That's always going to be the case. Sure.
And it just so happened that Karen had a good attorney that was able to expose all of that, and just, I don't know, it's like a perfect storm of
that I agree with.
Yeah.
Of fucking, I guess. I don't know.
It doesn't mean she didn't do it, but that's,
No.
But you can't rightfully convict her.
I agree with that too. She did it. I don't think she was guilty in a court of law because that was absurd, all the stuff that went on. But that's the definition of reasonable doubt. But I don't think it's not plausibly what actually happened, though.
Look at us. We solved another case.
Do it all the time,
Put that
pals.
up there next to John Bonet.
High fives.
It's okay to like both things can be true at the same time. There can be there could be a free Karen Reed moment. Like Karen Reed's, she's a victim of Proctor.
I agree.
Yeah.
I also think it was an involuntary manslaughter situation and not a second degree murder. So don't overcharge people with things they didn't do. She didn't second degree murder him. I don't even think she realized she did it. That's involuntary manslaughter. She didn't set out to kill her boyfriend. That's part of the frame job, I think, this overcharging bullshit to try to get her to plead to it. Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't think her calling all the time, like calling over and over again, like those dozens and dozens of times, was trying to build an alibi. Yeah. I think that's just somebody drunk and off the fucking rails.
She thought he went in the house.
Yeah. She was super mad.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure to this day she knows. I think her questioning it that morning when she was sobering up a little bit, that did I hit him kind of thing, is the kind of thing I would do when I don't remember what I did last night. Did I do that? Did I really do that?
Goes back to her just talking too much.
Yeah. Yeah, come on. Of course she hit him.
Yeah.
I need a ridiculous abduction story next week. I want just the stupidest UFO story that we can just have fun with.
Just something to not think around, just unwind.
Well, fortunately, Mike, we are taking the week off next week, so you will have an extra week to think about it.
Look at that. Maybe I'll be abducted.
Boom.
I'll be the story next week.
So, bad news all. We are taking the week off.
True. Forgot about that.
Summer vacation, we'll call it. Last 1 week.
It's August.
Last 1 week.
If we were French, we'd be off the whole month. So, oui. Consider yourself lucky.
Ian, any other? I know you got to that writer's block point, so your head is filled with just thousands of little bits of info. But anything else you want to mention before we put a bow on this one?
No, I don't think so. Oh, I don't know if I brought this up earlier. I can't remember. But the one thing I did find out about the tip about Colin with that private investigator. That private investigator, because I'm like, man, who did that guy work for? Like, that would be a good detail to find out. He didn't work for anybody. He just saw this on the news, like, happening. So he's like, oh, shit, I'm going to look into it.
His daughter was friends with one of the kids there that night or something.
Well, oh, okay. Yeah. And then he wouldn't sign an affidavit to what he had reported afterwards. So, of course, the judge is going to be like, dude, get the fuck out of here. Like, you can't put this in as evidence.
Right. This is not, we don't even know what this guy is.
Yeah. That's the only other thing.
Defense called him back or something. He's like, "Oh, I was only joking. I saw it or something."
Joking.
Yeah.
I kid.
Yeah. Kid.
That's all I got. It's a hybrid, right? Both things are true at the same time. I think
people have see things binary sometimes. It's either this or that happened, and it's not always true. We operate out of the gray, right? Multiple things can be true at the same time.
And remember, if anyone's coming out of this episode pissed off, save it for War Games. It's coming up soon. Send me your resume. I'll pick you for the match. You can take it out on the your rivals who feel the other way. Dave will be the ref. Ian and I are going to commentate.
So what I have to say to you is FFKR. Fuck free Karen Reed people.
Dave, I don't think you can officiate my War Games if you're going to go into this bias.
I'm kidding.
I'm going to need a clean call from you, pal.
Bit over the top, though. Pink people. Bit over the top.
Pink people.
Pink wearing FKRs. Bit much.
All right.
It's turned into a lot, man. I'm like, wow, we could do this on one. I'm like, not two.
No,
fucking
three. Here we are. Well, the good news is we got some Patreon shout outs.
We do. Welcome and thank you to new patrons. Anything But Sweetheart, Tyler Kuhn, Nicole Hirschfield, Meredith Otis, Braden, Jens John, Bart Walsh, Mike Hunt. How many Mike Hunts do we have over the years? Maybe it's the same person.
Just re-signing up every week.
Kimberly Koopmans, Jennifer Milkey, Keely Rowlings, Alexis, CNIT, Ashley N, Stone Deaf Forever. Lucky you don't have to listen to the show. John Snow.
What? So
John
like
Snow.
The real John Snow?
Well, might be. I shitted my britches.
Britches.
Is that you, Mike?
It is not.
Okay.
I was not wearing britches.
Josh Bear, DC3, Maddie McDade, Lieutenant Hodges, and Jeffficus Rex. Thank you, new patrons, and welcome aboard.
Ian, what do you got on your end?
On Patreon, we just did an episode on the Ultimate Warrior for the
That was a fun one.
wrestling show. Yeah, good time.
A lot of dirt to talk about with that guy.
We did that. We did a live stream for the Art Bell tier where you guys were with me. We had people call in for their give us their paranormal stories, react to them.
We had some good calls. We had a full night of the the call line being hot.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Didn't get any faxes, though. I was a little disappointed.
So that's there. Then we also did Texarkana Moonlight Murders Part 1 for Patreon. And then Part 2 will be coming up soon here. It'll be up.
Probably by the time they're listening to this.
Yeah, by the time this is up, Part 2 will be up. So all that good stuff's over on Patreon.
Very good. Dave, anything else on your end?
No. Enjoy your week off without us next week. Do something fun.
Go to a water park.
Go to a water park. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Cool off. It's going to be really hot.
We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube at Necronomipod, Patreon.com/Necronomipod, Amazon.com, search Necronomipod for all of our merch, and Necronomipod.com.
All right, you guys ready for a cool down beer?
Cheers.